All right, so today we're going to be excited to do the walking workout. Who wants to walk? Do you walk during the day? You don't have to do mine, but you certainly can. Just warming it all up. All right, so T-Tapp has a beautiful walking workout called Step Away the Inches. Don't you love that? And it's really, instead of a walking, I'm just going to call it a stepping because that's really what we're doing, is we're stepping. But you can use a lot of what we're going to go over today with this, even when you go out for your walk, because it's really about an education in how your body moves best in order to activate all the muscles and really increase that metabolic rate and burn down the glucose, which is what we know we want to do. So very first thing to think about, you want to make sure that when you're doing this, that your toes are straight ahead. Now, I happen to be a duck. I tend to walk like this. If anybody's ever seen me in person, my toes will duck out. Now, notice when my toes duck out, my legs are out, and I'm getting no activation. So I have to really play with keeping my toes straight ahead. Now, the other thing with the feet is that you don't want to be pressing down on the inside of your foot or the big toe ball joint. Feel that. And you'll notice that when you do, see how my knees will start to pronate into the center of my body. And now as I'm doing that, I'm not getting any muscle activation out here on the outside. And if I want to tighten and tone my hips and my thighs, not going to do it with the knees going in, okay? You also don't want to move the hips. You're aligning the body. So in order to keep those knees out without a problem, you just want to kind of think about almost being on the last 3 toes, or just don't press down on the big toe ball joint, and that will bring your knees into alignment. You don't have to overdo it. I find a lot of us type 1, type A women, we're like, okay, if that's it, I'm going to go like this. No, it's really nice and aligned. That looks great. Now, another thing about the legs, everybody looks good with that, is you want to do a full step. And what I mean by that is you want to straighten the leg as you come up. In other words, don't do half steps. Okay, that can bulk your thighs because you're putting too much pressure and hurt your knees. So it's just yep. And also, every time you do this with the legs, you're pumping the lymphatic system, right? So it's all part of the detox. So that looks terrific. So there you go. Now, the next part of it is you want to connect to your tailbone. Lots of us women tend to do this. I don't know, you might have seen people do that. And if you do that, slightly leaning forward with that bar, everything's hanging here. So you want to be up straight, linearly aligned, and then think tailbone down to the ground. Very similar to when we're standing, right? So just think tail down. If you need to do the tuck curl, because with your feet like this, you're not really curling under, but you are dropping that tail down. And as soon as you do that, you're going to feel some muscle activation here at the lower belly. And that's how we're going to tighten and tone from there. So give me a thumbs up. You guys thinking about it? Or all of a sudden you're thinking about the walk and you're like, That's great. All right. Of course, we need to get the ribs up. So you can always do a pinky touch here. Push in, lift them up. Then you can think shoulders up, shoulders back, and just kind of slide them down and feel like you're getting a bit of extension across the breast. Nice. There you go. And then just let the arms go. Now, as we're just stepping away here, I'm going to come up a little closer to just share a little bit of the upper body with you. So again, we want everything in alignment, right? So the head's in alignment, ears, center of shoulder, center of hip on down, right? So we're not leaning forward, which is something a lot of us tend to do, and we're not leaning back, which is unusual. So most people aren't doing that. All right, but we also want to think about the shoulder joint, right? So most of us tend to walk and stand like this, almost kind of like monkey-like, if you will, with the palms behind us. And just notice what happens with those shoulders, because it all works together with the shoulder bone. So if your hands are facing behind, your shoulder joint's rolling a little bit forward, and then you lose all that activation in there. So how can we switch that? Well, we're going to do it with our hands, And then think about all this is one unit. So palms are here. Now just bring your palms, rotate so that the thumbs are forward. And your thumb, yeah. Now that's pretty good, but notice the difference if you now take those thumbs and roll them back. Now this feels weird to walk, but just do it for me for a second. So can you feel how that opened up in the shoulders? How about if you now go bend the elbows a bit? Good, so now bring the hands down like that, thumbs forward, and you can even bend the elbows, and that's not bad, right? You can feel it, but now rotate, bring the palms to the ceiling and rotate the thumbs back. And you're gonna feel how you get much more activation up here and more activation in your back. So that looks terrific. And we're gonna do some nice movements with this concept, okay? So let's just go ahead, drop the arms down low, and I'm gonna go palms forward. So now you're just gonna do like a long arm, and then we're gonna bend at the elbow and do a short arm. You ready? So here's your long arm, and here's your short arm. 5, 6, 7, 8, and long arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, short arm. Good, so you start to feel it. Now it feels weird, especially if you're like Renee, and like you think I'm gonna go out walking like this. This looks really weird. Nobody's gonna wanna see me like this. So Rhonda, just watch, you're doing this. So you wanna go drive the elbows back. This is just a really interesting little tidbit for when you go to regularly walk outside. You know how when people go to speed up, right? They do long arms, right? And they're just like this, and really bring the arms out, bring those legs way in front of them. And I just want you to know that that actually is slowing you down. Why? Because every time you keep walking, every time you bring the foot forward, your heel hits and it's like a brake. You're breaking the momentum of going forward. And when you lose a long arm, just pause your feet for 1 second, and that'll give you a chance to catch your breath. Just come a little forward, long arm here, and just go side to side and feel. Doesn't that feel like it's slow? Think about a grandfather clock, right? With the long arm, it's slow. Now stop, bend at the elbows, and do side to side this way. Much faster, right? You can really go faster. So when you're looking, thank you, so we can come back up again. So when you're going to do a walk and you think, if you're doing this, that's a long pendulum. It's slowing you down. So you want to, when you start to speed up your walk, even outside, you want to have about a 90-degree angle here. I'm going to put my hands like I don't want to crush my potato chips. Is that fair to say that in a tranont class? No. So pretend you have little potato chips in your hands, and you want to keep those elbows. You want to think about driving your elbows back, because your power to go fast forward is behind you. You want to be like having the wind at your back, right? And this is one of the ways to do it. And you can allow the shoulders to move. And what you're going to notice is this pivot point between the top and the bottom of your body is really right kind of at your belly button or your waist. So as you're doing this and allowing the body to move like that, you're working at the waist. Okay, so you'll just notice how you feel with this versus how you might normally be walking outside. Ribs are up, shoulders are back. Nice. Now, I want you to just bring your arms right out like this with your palms. Good. And think about, you can bring the shoulder forward, pull it back. Just one more time so you get that. Shoulder forward, shoulders back. So we want to keep the shoulders back here. And now you're going to bring them back, but you're going to put your hands in the donuts and then up to the ceiling and pull it back. So it's going to look like this. Out, 2, 3, 4, ribs up. 2, 3. Nice. Out, 2, 3, 4, ribs up. 2, 3, 4. Keep the tail tucked. And out, 2, 3, 4, and in. So good. Again. Out, 2, 3, 4, and in. So good. Just hold for a second. Now I'm going to do that same kind of movement. I'm going to bring my hands up by my face and then above the head. You guys ready? Here we go. It's out, 2, 3, 4 ribs up, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4 ribs up, 2, 3, 4, 2 more out, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4, last one out, 2, 3, 4, and up. Very good. Now I'm going to bring it up above the head. Go ahead and bring it with me. And we're going to do a W here. You ready? Here we go. Give me a big W, pause. And just think elbow forward, hand back. Little pulse, 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 pulse. So good. And now we're going to bring it all the way up above the head. Here we go. Up for 2. Give me your ribs up for 2. Again. Up, 2, 3, 4 by the ears. 2, 3, 4, 2 more. Up, 2, 3, 4 ribs up. Last one. Up, 2, 3, 4 ribs up. So good. And just walk. Woo! Now, anytime you bring those arms up like that above the head, 2 things. One, you want to check that you're tucked under because it's really, we tend to do this, so you want to keep it under. And you'll notice that when you bring the hands above the head, the heart rate goes up. So at any time when you're doing that, if this becomes too much, you run out of breath, just bring the hands back down, slow down the feet, maybe do a long arm, and catch your breath. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to stop us now for a sec. So stop the feet. If you need to take a drink, go ahead. And I'm going to share with you a second part of this real quick with a little bit of some instruction. And so we're going to do a side to side, little side to sides. We're warming up in here and really working. Now, to do that, when you go to the side, okay, you want to make sure that you're just first kind of stand on this foot, heel down, toe up, and pigeon toe that foot in so that the toes are forward. So you're going to lead with a heel and the knee and in, heel and knee. If you think about leading with the heel and the knee in a straight line, you never hurt the knee, right? What you don't want is to see that knee going in. So if you lead sometimes with the feet, the knee goes in, and that can be painful. So you want to be knee and ankle, knee and ankle. Very good. And now just let those arms, palms to the center, one in front and one in back. Good. So you can do it narrow. Beautiful. And you can also go a little wider. So you can go wide, wide, wide. Good. Staying totally upright. Now, again, what the body wants to do is come forward, doesn't it? And if you come forward, just go ahead and do it. And notice you'll lose the activation, don't you? So the whole key is always being linearly aligned so that all parts of the body are working together. Have you had enough of this one? Absolutely. Let's just go back and walk. Beautiful. So now we're back to walking. Guys, look really good with that. Making sure that you do keep the toes forward and that you totally straighten the leg when it comes down. Think about tailbone down. And let's bring those arms straight up to the shoulders, palms to the ceiling, and reach them out. Nice work. So let's just bring those arms up by the ears and then back to here. Maybe 4 times. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Up for 2. Reach up and out for 2. Again, up for 2. And shoulder 2. And up for 2. And shoulder 2, tuck under, up and tuck, and back to the shoulder. So good. Now we're going to go shoulder on down. Let's go. It's down for 2, ribs up, back to the shoulder, and ribs are up, and shoulder. Nice. Ribs are up, and shoulder. Last one. Ribs are up, and shoulder. Reach it up. Now, how about if we do it a combination? We're going to go up for 2 and shoulder, down for 2 and shoulder. Here we go. It's up for 2, reach to the shoulder, and down for 2, ribs up to the shoulder, and up for 2 and shoulder, and down for 2 and shoulder. Give me just one more. Here we go. Up for 2, reach it out to the shoulder, and down for 2, ribs up, and just let it walk. Just walk. Taking a deep breath. So give me a thumbs up. Are you guys feeling like your heart rate's up? You kind of feeling some muscle? Excellent. Love that. All right. Beautiful. Now, let's do a little sides just because We like this. So I just want you to take this 1 foot over and punch and come back. So it's an over and a back. Don't think about it, just do it. This is one of those, like if you start thinking about it, it will be ridiculous. But notice you're gonna get that nice stretch and twist across the whole body. And I'm always about that twisting, yeah, and a little standing ab work. Nice work. It feels kind of good, doesn't it? You could do a little attitude sit back. Beautiful. One more time each side, and then we're walking again. Nice, and just walk. So good. All right, let's bring those arms right back up again to shoulder. Good. Turn palms to the ceiling, fingers and thumbs, and up to the goalpost. You guys ready? Remember this one, in and open, and then we'll get up to the V. So key to this one, elbows up by the shoulder, and this has to be in a 90 degree just to get the most. Let's bring the shoulders, elbows up even higher, 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 higher. Good work, and maybe even higher, and then think ribs up. So you should be right in alignment. Oh, that looks good. Let's bring them in. Remember, they're not touching. Shoulders back, and then bring them all the way back out right by the ears. Excellent. Let's do 4 more. Here we go. In for 2, out for 2, 2, and open. Keeping those elbows up. Last one, just like that. Pause. Nice. Now we're going to go up to a V. You ready? V and hold. V to the shoulder. Bring them in. And open, elbows up, and V to the shoulder, and in, and open 2 more times. It's V, ribs to the shoulder, bring it in, and open. Last one, it's V, ribs up, and in. So nice, and open. Let them go. Just long arms and walk. Taking some nice deep breaths and just realign again. Notice toes forward, no big toe. Tailbone drops down. Ribs are up and you're just walking. Walk. So nice. All right, you guys still feeling good, right? Everybody's doing good? All right, so now I'm going to share with you something we call the step lift sequence. And it's, again, really good for here. So I'm going to pause our feet for a moment. I'm going to go over to the side, and I want you to just play with me. I'm just going to bring this arm up here, like lifting at the wrist. Other hand is down here. Press down. Good. Now, you're going to do a small step, keeping the toes straight ahead. Shift the weight. That standing leg is slightly bent, and I want you to take this other leg, flex it. So I like to feel like heel down, toe up, and think about turning that whole thigh bone in so the toe looks pigeon-toed. You're going to do a little lift. You're not going to lift the hip. You're holding it down. Then you're going to shift back over onto that leg and bring the feet together. Beautiful. So it's a small step, toe is forward, keep that knee bent, lift toe forward, bring it back together. Love it. Let's go a little faster. Step, lift, toes forward, step, together, step, lift, step, together. Good. Make it smaller if you can, so that you don't lean. Okay. So it's not a lean to get there. It's keeping this straight up. Use the muscle. Whoop, I just fell. That was my lean. My foot caught on the carpet. Yes, it did. One more. Over. Whose arm is getting really tired? Drop it and just walk. And we're going to go do the other side. It's amazing to me how just small little tweaks of that movement, you can so feel it in here. Do you guys feel that? That is what cinches in, okay? So other side, I'm going to stop my feet here. Good. And I'm going to just think heel down, toe up. I'm going to turn that whole leg in. And I'm going to do a step up. I went the wrong way. For some reason, I'm having a hard time with this week. So just step, other side, heel down, toe up, turn, lift. You got it. Step, together. Small step out. Standing knee is bent. And together. Nicely done. Step, lift with the heel so the toe is forward. step, keep that hand there, keeping the hip down, step, together. How about one more? Notice how the arm, we start bending it. See if you can keep it stiff and straight. Good work. Last one. Step, lift, step, and together, nice. And walk. Get rid of some of that tension in the upper body. All right, so we're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna change up the arms a little bit, okay? And when you're here, you wanna really straighten the legs as you're doing this, when you straighten, and that will move some of that lactic acid out of those hip joints, okay? I'll try not to have us do too many of these. All right, we're gonna go back this way. This time the palm is up, okay? So watch me for a second. I'm gonna do a step. When I go, I'm turning this toe. When I go here, I'm going to reach up on this side, lean in slightly to that, and then come back and bring it back. Let's just play with it. We'll go slow. You ready? So really stiff, straight arm. You're going to step. Good. Lift. And if you can, think lift. Nice. Nice. Round and back. And bring the arm back down. Good. Let's go again. Step. Lift. Step. Together. Step, lift, step, together. Nice. Step, lift, step, together. Now just one more little tippy. When you go here to lift, standing knee, keep, whoa, don't leave, Renee. It needs to be bent to the little toe. All right, switch sides. My shoes are catching on my big carpet today. Ribs up, palms to the ceiling. Let's go. So it's a step, lift. Ready? Step together. Step, lift, step together. Good. Step, lift, step together. Step. Standing knee to the little toe. Last one. Step, lift, step together. Bring the arm down and shake it out. Woo! Shake it out and just walk. Just walk, just doing some stepping, shake out those arms. So you can see this is a great arm exercise, isn't it? You can really do a lot of good work with the arms as you're working the whole torso. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Thinking tailbone down, ribs are up, lift the shoulders one more time, taking them back, sliding them down as you widen across there. Letting the arms go. Notice again, can you flip the palms? So you feel that opening across the pecs. Good. And then can you keep that shoulder, the shoulder back like it is in this, and then just from the elbow down, turn so that the hands are facing the body. So you still get that opening, shoulders up and back, chin is slightly tucked, lifting from the top of your head, and off you go. And ready, set, you did it. Beautiful work. We're going to stop there. That was a lot of thinking, wasn't it? Let's just kind of come down. Let's do a curl and a scoop just to really keep that back, feeling good. Coming on down, hands above the knees. Good work. Push down, bend deeper, curl that tailbone, curl the chin. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Pull up and arch. Good, and you can lift that chin, give that thyroid a little stimmy. Shift back, look down, push down, curl. Good, bend deeper. Pull up and arch. Good, last one, shift back, look down. Push down, curl, pause as you come up there. Really bend deeper, curl. Release the knees, bring the arms up by the ears as you're looking down. Hook those thumbs and stretch those arms out. Stretch them out from the shoulders. Then try to pull the thumbs apart so you get that big stretch across there. Release, thumbs inside, fingers outside, pull up an arch, and allow the upper body to just hang down and relax the head. If you have high blood pressure, just use your hands to climb yourself, roll back up. If not, slide your hands down to the middle of the calf. Palm is on that calf. Let the elbows hang forward. Push the hand against the leg and the leg against the hand. And then roll the shoulders back away from the ears. And then just do a little head lift. And drop it using the weight. Do 2 more of the head to align the spine back up. Good. And now you're just going to keep pressing, curling up when the arms are straight. Flip them towards the front and roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Keep that head down until the very end, tucking the chin and coming on up. Give me a nice shoulder roll. Beautiful. Woo! You guys, nice work.